Good morning, everyone. This is Amethyst Wildfire. I am here with my second vlog of my little journey here through the broken wrist. Here's my broken wrist. I love that I have a purple cast on it. And so this morning I woke up and I thought of, I was kind of dreaming, and I had these thoughts that came to me about this break and finding the blessings in the break. And what was starting to really come to me this morning were a lot of colloquialisms around the word break. Now, the truth of the matter is, there was really some things in my routine that needed to shift. And one of the ways that we shift our routines is we have to break patterns that don't serve us anymore. One of the patterns that I had gotten into was the pattern of spending a lot of time on the computer and kind of really getting out of balance with that. And so there was this underlying desire to break away from all of this time I was spending on the computer. And then I made this very big investment in January in Kevin Nation's Love Mastermind. And one of the things that clearly needs to happen whenever you expand your consciousness, you expand your horizons. One of the big things that has to happen is things that you've been doing, which obviously aren't working, need to be released so that you can make room in your life for new things, new ways of being, new ways of thinking, new ways of experiencing, and new ways of creating to come forth. So for me, this break certainly represents one way of coming up with a method of breaking routine. I would recommend that you try and find another way, but at the subconscious level, clearly I was ready for a break. And so my body responded by creating this situation where I broke my wrist. So some of the colloquialisms that I was kind of hearing this morning that I want to put out there is, and I'm putting these out there for feedback and for your thoughts. I'm kind of curious about your thoughts about break, about breaking things, about breaking patterns, about breaking up, about heartbreak, about breakthroughs, breaking free. So there's all these colloquialisms like, can you catch a break? In drama, they use the colloquialism break a leg when you go out on stage. Is it time for a big business breakthrough for you, or a personal breakthrough for you? Are you breaking free of old patterns? Are you breaking free of old relationships? When are you going to put on the brakes? Maybe you're moving at a speed that is not sustainable, so it's time to put on the brakes. Maybe you need to get off the brakes. It's really interesting because right after I had this break, a friend came by to visit me within like 48 hours, and she was on her way home and her brakes started to fail. So she ended up staying at my house and getting her brakes done while she was with me. And then I took my car in a couple days later for my annual inspection, and I needed brakes too. So there's something really, something up energetically around this whole break thing. And I would like to invite you to kind of sit for a moment and contemplate what the word break is bringing to you right now. Each of us has the ability to read the signs that are out there. And so perhaps my break can be a sign for you about what needs to happen in your world. So I'm going to invite you to start thinking about the word break. Do you need to break the ice? Is it time for you to have an icebreaker, maybe a party? There's so many ways that we use this word break, and it has so many meanings. And one of the other things that kind of came to me as I was going through all of these colloquialisms in my head this morning, and I was really tapping in and connecting with my own body, which, you know, came to bring me a message, right? I was connecting with my own body, and I was really kind of curious about what this was all about. And I have a lot of information that is coming. There's like a wealth of information that is coming from this broken wrist. And I'm going to be sharing that with you over the next few weeks through this vlogging format. And so one of the first pieces that came for me is that this break, to a certain degree, connects to many other breaks in my life, including the breakup of my marriage, my second marriage, which happened last May. So one of the things that I realize about myself is a pattern of behavior that is calling to be, have a break, to be broken, is when a crisis occurs, an emotional crisis occurs in my life, my immediate response is to go into action, and do something to either fix it, or just I get really caught in the doing. I take action and I get caught in the doing, and I'm so busy doing things and I'm not really being with how I'm feeling. And so I realized that part of what needed to happen for me is I needed to go back into the breakup of my marriage from last year and really allow myself to connect with and transmute the grief and the anger that I have not been permitting myself to feel. And so the break has, in effect, forced me to slow down and forced me to spend some time in silence and stillness, and really created an opportunity for me to get in touch with this unfelt grief and this unfelt anger over the breakdown of my marriage. So that's just one tiny lesson from my wrist break, and my intent is to continue to harvest the richness of this experience and to share with you. And I'd love to invite you to share with me what the word break is eliciting for you. So give yourself a break, and I look forward to chatting with you again. Let's not give yourself this kind of a break, though, if you can help it. All right, have a great day. This is Amethyst. Bye-bye.